welcome to Helens Cuisine. Today what I'm going to make is some surprise cookies. And the reason why I call them surprise cookies is because this is from my own little recipes. What I put in is I have some powdered sugar here with a handful of crushed peanuts. I put them in the food processor, mixed them very well, as you can see. Nice color. Over here I got 1 egg, 2 sticks of butter, and a half a handful of walnuts, nice and crushed. I got 2 cups of flour. I have vanilla extract. I'll be putting 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, a teaspoon of salt, and this is what we start. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the walnuts and mix it very, very well. Once the walnuts are mixed in very well, then I'm going to add the flour. The flour I'm going to mix very well. I'm going to get a bigger bowl, so I'll be right back. Okay, I switched bowls. I got a much bigger bowl. I mixed in the 2 cups of flour with the powdered sugar and the peanuts and the pecans. Now I'm going to put in 1 cup of granulated sugar. Okay, I'm going to mix it up really, really well. You could do it with a KitchenAid mixer or by hand. I like to do everything old-fashioned by hand. Okay, it's nice and mixed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a teaspoon of salt in, just to give it a little salty flavor. Now I'm going to put in the 2 room temperature sticks of butter. This is where you might want to use your hands. I love using my hands to make sure I get it all mixed in very well. Here's the 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And 1 whole egg. Okay, so let's get this a little mixed up. I like to get the egg mixed up first in there before I start putting my hands in, because it can get really messy and it feels slimy. So once that's a little bit mixed in there, this is the fun part. You use your hands. Okay, I'm mixing it up with my hand. You could use a food processor to do this if you like, a mixer, KitchenAid, whatever you have on hand. Like I say, I like to do things the old-fashioned way. I like to make sure I get it all mixed in very well. Okay, it's nice and mixed up already. Very well mixed. I'm going to go ahead and cover it with some wax paper or saran wrap and put it in the refrigerator so it can firm up like a half an hour, and then I'll be back to you.
Action.
Okay, what I have here is I got my sheet out and I lined it with wax paper on the bottom. I put wax paper in, and underneath I put butter. I buttered it on the bottom, and then I put the wax paper and I lightly coated the top with butter also. And it's already been like a half an hour, so I'm gonna see how this firmed up. I had it in the refrigerator. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and make some round balls and go ahead and place them in there. Roll them up a little bit and then kind of like flatten them a little bit. Flatten them a bit. Roll them and flatten them. Okay.
we go.
And it's really easy. You could either roll them out and just leave them and let them flatten on their own, or you can give them a little help. Okay, so right here I got about a dozen ready to go into the oven. I have my oven preheated at 350, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these in there for about 15 to 20 minutes or so and take them out and show you what they look like. So I'll be right back. Okay, 20 minutes went by and this is the way they look. You could cook them more, you could cook them less. I like them like that, nice and browned. You can see that they're browned around the corners and they look really good. Now we're just going to wait for them to go ahead and cool and set them on a dish, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, here we go. They already cooled off, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get some. You could dip them in powdered sugar when you finish making them, like that, or you can go ahead and serve them like this. It's up to you. You could dip them in powdered sugar or like that, any way you like. They'll be very tasty. You must try this recipe because it's really very, very delicious. I made this recipe up myself and I know you'll really like them. So go ahead and try it, and when you make them, let me know how they came out. They're very delicious little cookies. Once again, these are from my own little recipe, and it took 2 cups of flour. It took 1 cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1 handful of crushed pecans or walnuts, 1 handful of peanuts crushed with some powdered sugar, 2 cups of powdered sugar, and let me see what else. 1 egg. That's all I needed was 1 egg. And this is what we have. So, and a teaspoon of salt. I'm sorry. So if you have any questions and you want me to go ahead and put the recipe down below, just let me know. Once again, you got to try these. They're really very delicious.